People make assumptions, and there's everyday bias people have. They don't know they have it. Don't let it psych you out. Don't let the noise that creates in your head stop you from being an active contributor.
I'd love to hear about some of the headwinds you encountered and how you navigated them.
One time there were outside potential partners that we were having a meeting with, and several of the people who report into me were sitting in the room, and I was the only female in the room. People I noticed weren't making eye contact with me. I think they might have thought I was there to pour coffee, I'm not sure, but they kept addressing the conversation to people other than me. And I felt that when someone who was a direct report of mine got up and left the room to go use the restroom, one of the potential partners said, well, when your boss comes back into the room, we should discuss this, that, and the other. Our head of marketing, who was sitting on my other side, just looked at him and laughed and said, dude, don't you realize she's the boss? And all of a sudden, everything shifted. They started making eye contact with me and redirecting the conversation to me. Not that that's what I needed to have, but it just goes to show you that assumptions were made, that because I was a woman and the only one in the room, that I was subordinate to the guy sitting next to me.
When you go into those situations now, I mean, you're much better known, so does that happen less?
It does happen less, but it still happens occasionally. I started at one point when I entered the boardroom just bringing my business cards and nice to meet you, and put my business cards around the table so that subtly you didn't sit in the room and get ignored, and people understood who was who. So that was a trick I learned, rather quickly.
And given your career trajectory, I imagine that you were promoted over a lot of men over the years. Did you find that a lot, that people would be very explicit about the fact that they thought you shouldn't have gotten the job?
Earlier in my career, I did, and I got promoted at times over men who'd been in the company longer or were older than I, or actually had more technical experience in the job than I did. So it was very challenging when they became a direct report. I can remember one time where I just received this promotion that this guy went for, and I got it over him. And I went into my boss's office and I saw sitting on his desk a letter that this guy who didn't get the promotion wrote about why I was the wrong person for the job. Wow. And he was the right person for the job. And I read it because I could see my name all over it. And it was quite destabilizing, I have to say. And I had to overcome knowing that this person felt this way about me in our relationship day to day, in how we worked together.
How did you do that?
I never confronted him about the letter. He had a right to express himself, and I didn't think that would be particularly productive. But what I did was try to show him how I did deserve the job and why I was going to make a difference. And believe it or not, he and I ended up working together for another, I would say, 12 years. We became really great collaborators and colleagues, and I would call him a friend today.
It feels like a mic drop moment to me.